Welcome to part 2 of this art project. The name of the project is Confidence, right? We talked a little bit about that a little bit ago before break. And I've already started my project with, if you recall, or if this is the first time you've come here on this project, we are drawing a picture of yourself as somebody that has accomplished something that you've wanted for a long time. You got on a sports team that you've been wanting to. You're so confident that you went in there and you sold yourself and you showed them that you were good enough to be on that team. Or you've been struggling with a painting that you've been painting for a long time and you're about to give up on it because it just doesn't seem so right. It's all of these things are so important to talk about because you need to know what confidence really is and how it really affects your life, right? So once again, if you haven't gotten your materials yet, we need white paper, pencils, erasers, crayons, markers, any kind of color, a medium that you want to use, go for it, right? And let's start up one more time with how do we see ourselves as a winner? How we see ourselves as somebody that can accomplish something. And that's what the art project is about today. All right. Well, I've got my picture started. You can see it. I got my hands up in the air. I've got my hands in the air like I just don't care, right? I'm celebrating. I don't know what I'm celebrating there. It could be anything. It could be something small. It could be something big. Something that I set my mind to finish or to challenge myself, and I got through it, and I feel good about myself. I feel confidence. Now, I think that a lot of kids, and not just kids, adults too, they doubt themselves, you know. They don't want to do something. I run into young people like that all the time. They don't want to try something new because they believe they're going to fail. Well, see, that's the opposite of being confident. It's a hard place to be in. And I want to tell you right now, everybody, all people, have those moments where I just don't know if I can do this, or I'm too dumb to do this, or I have no talent, or I can't run very fast. Whatever it is, there are these voices in our head, and sometimes in our real life, you know, like a brother or somebody that's always hassling you, always telling you can't do stuff. That is so wrong, and it's not true. If you don't know how to do something, it's because you're new at it. And because you're so young, you're going to be new to almost everything. What I'm trying to get you to think about is you need to have a little bit of courage just to go, hey, I don't know if I can do this or not, but I'm going to see if I can do it. And don't give up on it. That's the thing. Again, my granddaughter, I get that from her all the time. I'll get her, you know, involved in something in the studio, and she'll go, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. And I'll go, you've worked on it for 3 minutes. Give it some time. Don't give up too early, especially if it's something that you really want to do, right? So, okay, got the guy in there. How does yours look so far? Anybody? Have you gotten you as the victor or the winner? That's what I want to see. Somebody that has a lot of confidence because they did actually put in the time and put in the work and made it happen. Okay? So I'm going to put some balloons in the air. I like balloons. There we go. I want people to know that I'm celebrating, and you should celebrate. Hey, if you've really put some time into something and you've done a really good job and you've accomplished what you want, by all means, take credit for it. Makes you feel good. I don't know about you. See, I've always been a lousy speller when I was in school. And, oh man, I was almost kind of shamed. I mean, I felt ashamed because I wasn't as good as everybody. And as I got older, simply because I was writing and spelling stuff all the time, I got better at it. So sometimes it just takes time and energy to get to be where you want to be in the goals that you want to accomplish, right? So there's one artist that you may not know about, but you need to check him out. I think we have a picture that we're going to show you in a minute. His name is Kendi Wiley, and he is a very famous, prominent African-American artist who paints just regular people. I mean, just regular people, but he paints them in such a way that they look like winners, and they're confident, and there's a dignity on their face that, yes, I'm here because I put in the work and I've accomplished something. You know, that's confidence. I love the man's artwork, but it's also, I think he's a good example of how artists can show different emotions, different ideas, if you put the work in, don't rush through things, and get something done. I really love his work. In fact, the Oklahoma Art Museum downtown has a really, really large painting of his. If you're ever at the museum on a field trip, if we ever have field trips again, you need to check it out if you ever. But go online. He's got some beautiful, beautiful work that shows just regular people as kind of like heroes. And I think that we're all that way. We all have that ability. Sometimes it's hard, right? Sometimes it's real hard. But Kendi Wiley, this artist that I'd like for you to, he's contemporary. He's alive now. His work's going sky high. But there is a tradition of a type of art that celebrates historical paintings. And what I mean by historical paintings is that they show maybe a scene from history of some great battle or some amazing thing that has been accomplished. There have been painters that have painted those kinds of paintings probably for the last 500 or 600 years, probably even longer than that, showing people at their best, showing people that, you know, look at me, I've made a lot of money and I've done a lot of things, kind of paintings. It was, in fact, at one point in time, the only people who could afford a portrait of themselves were very successful, very wealthy people, because not everybody could afford to hire an artist to paint their portrait. So there's a tradition in art that is all about celebrating the confidence of other people. How confident are you guys? Listen to me. Listen up. Don't listen to anybody that tells you, especially at the very beginning, that you can't do something. Don't listen to them. Some of the people that will tell you you can't do it, can't do it themselves, right? All I'm asking you, you know, if you've been with me and you've seen my classes or been in my class, one of the things that I've always said to all of my students is, I'm not asking for perfection. All I want you to do is try. Because I tell you what, incredible things happen when you just go for it and try. And because I've seen it in my classrooms with the kids, your age, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, I'll ask them to do something they've never done before, and they all are going, I don't know, I don't think I can do it. But most of them can. And so can you. So, don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't do something when you know in your heart that you want to do it and that you put in the work. I mean, do you truly believe that Michael Jordan, when he was a little kid like you, could play basketball like he did? He's considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time. But when he was your age, he was just starting out. He was just learning how to do this stuff. It takes time. So if you do, there's an old saying, if you don't succeed, the first time you don't succeed, try again. I'm completely in agreement with that. It took me forever to get to a point where I could draw decently or I could make art decently. But because I loved doing it, I continued to do it over and over and over again, and I got better. Just like you. Just like you. And how's your pictures? What are you proud of? What are you proud of that you can do good right now at your age with the experience that you put into whatever it is, whether it's, basketball or drawing or skating, or it doesn't make a difference. Things that you want to do that you might think, oh, I don't know if I can do this or not, right? I want you to go for it. Because you will never, ever, ever accomplish anything if you don't give it your best and you try the hardest that you can. That's what actually, and it's interesting, but that's kind of what life is, right? So keep that in mind when you're drawing this picture of you winning a spelling bee or mowed the lawn that your older brother said you could not mow because you were too little, right? We all have obstacles and things that we have to work through. I just want you to know that you're just as good as anybody out there. And with a little try, you can accomplish almost anything that you want. I believe that. That just sounds like something an old teacher would tell you. Oh, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. I actually believe that because I've seen it happen, right? We're going to have to get out of here in just a minute. I want to thank you all for coming in. If you haven't finished your artwork, do so. Let's. I would love to be able to see some of these one of these days when we all go back to school, maybe. I really actually can't wait because I really miss you guys. Love working with you in the schools. So anyway, have a good day. Remember, when you go outside, wear one of these. Got to do that probably up until the middle of this coming year. So make it a habit. I do. I never go out into public without my mask, and I want you to do the same thing for you and your family and your neighbors, your community. So anyway, have a good day. Stay creative. Use that imagination. And have confidence in what you want to do. Bye-bye.